Hello and welcome here, everyone. We are excited to dive more into R20. We just saw the amazing grand finals for the Valorant side of things, and now we bring a little bit of car action. Obviously, a few new faces. My name is Orbital. With me is Vaudible. You've seen him on the main stage, of course, throughout the last few days. Vaudible, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I mean, we've had some great action so far. That one going such a long distance that we got to see so much competitive Valorant action before. Now we have some Rocket League. I mean, I had my fill of it yesterday. Now we get some of it for R20. It's going to be a great show, regardless of how these teams prepared for this. They're ready to showcase their skills on the final stage. This is the last series for these two teams.
It's a scary thought, but also a thrilling thought at the same time. And for myself, I know that playing on a main stage specifically, directly behind us, you can see him getting set up. It's a thrill like none other to not only represent your school, represent yourself, but to show off your skills on the best stage possible. When we take a look at this, I believe it is a Bo7, just like standard. My eyes are drawn to opening rounds and all, but what are you looking forward to in this matchup?
I mean, I just want to see the skill, of these high school players. There's been so many pros that are around their age as well. So there's varying degrees of, success that we've seen at that level, and being able to play with your peers so early on in your career. Even some of the pros that are out there, they didn't play at high school. A lot of them, came up just playing with some friends online and all that as well. So we'll have to see, what these teams can do once they're actually on the stage, when they're getting ready for the match on the pitch as well. And I'm just excited to see, what kind of skill level we can expect from this.
Absolutely. 35 schools across 17 districts, monthly events hosted at the Boeing Center, season starting. R20 has been so pivotal in making sure these schools can get active. But of course, with the SWL Titans going up against CCHS SnakeBytes, I believe, are the two teams here. Awesome names, by the way. I love them so much. I'm very, very excited to see what they can throw down. You've throughout the day also been covering the national side for the NECC.
That's true.
And what is something that you see and can take away from some of the best out there?
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Like trying to emulate, the best teams that are in collegiate if you're one of those high school rosters. I mean, I think communication's a big thing, right? Especially in a LAN stage. Don't be quiet, talk to your team as much as you can. I mean, even the pro level for Rocket League specifically, you typically see them, yapping as much as they can, having comms go crazy. If you listen to any of those comms videos, I definitely recommend it if no one has before. Just seeing how fast they're okay, I'm up. They're awkward, faking and going for boost and all this other stuff. It's really short comms and just keeping it concise. I think it's a big thing so you don't get overwhelmed with what's happening in the rotation and the basics of Rocket League itself. So I think that's a big thing too, and just having confidence in yourself. You're on a stage, you're in these national environments. I mean, this is a great place to be, and you made it here for a reason.
Of course. And not only that, keeping with your own status quo, I guess is the best way to put it. You talk about the fact about rotations, keeping calm short. It's about playing your playbook and not getting I want to say, bullied around.
Yeah,
I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know. When you take a look at some of these opponents, which I really, really like, I'm always a big fan of the mental game that comes down to playing on a stage versus playing online. It's this idea of you don't want to fall into the opponent's tempo. You don't want to fall into the opponent's strategies, their momentum gains, and how they like to run the pitch. If you do, you lose out on a lot of your own personality.
That's so true.
And it causes so many problems. And for these two teams, obviously, they have their style, but you're playing against them on LAN.
Exactly.
Are you going to fall into their own style? And if they do, watch what they do. Are they excited that you do that? That's the other side is, if you see them getting excited, you kind of know something went wrong.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see, what we can expect, skill level, as I was talking about, the comms as well. Aerials, if we're going to be seeing a ton of those from these teams, passing plays. I mean, I think that's a big struggle for a lot of players too. Typically at the high school level, you sometimes have, one player is kind of above the rest in terms of ranks.
Right.
So they are usually the one who leads the charge on offense. But the best teams in my mind are the ones that work together, right? It's not just one player that's the star of the show doing everything for your squad. It's everyone actually having their own role. One being, that sweeper in the rotation, trying to get those saves as best they can, and then going from there on out to try and get the victory for your team and building off that strong foundation. So we'll see, what we can expect from these squads, but I mean, both of them are going to give it their all. That's the big thing to note.
Absolutely. And I want to go back and I want to give them their due rewards for SnakeBytes. They are Central Catholic High School, and for the Titans, it is Southwest Legacy. Amazing squads coming in here, history of performance, and we want to make sure that they are given their chances to show their stuff once more, and also maybe take a look at the collegiate side. We literally just talked about a lot of this action around the side, but they're seeing these players firsthand. You saw them on the stage earlier, a lot of these collegiate sides. So what do you think they have to look forward to if they compete on the collegiate side after?
The great thing is there's so many competitions, right? I mean, we've had like so many different ones competing here specifically. Like even if they don't do Rocket League, if they find another game that they're a fan of, they can be a part of that as well. But Orbital, I mean, we got to talk about the players on stage on this end too.
Absolutely, and there's someone else that wants to bring them on in, so let's throw it down to the main stage for the walkouts for these two teams.
It's time for another grand final, this time featuring Rocket League, and we got another shiny trophy on the stage, and I have two talented teams ready to also hit the field. So please join me in welcoming Central Catholic High School SnakeBytes. Oh, they look locked in. I'm liking the jerseys, and their competition is just as serious. So let's get hype, let's get loud for Southwest Legacy Titans. I'm liking the shades, I'm liking the vibes, and these are the best high schools in the nation when it comes to Rocket League. They're ready to hit the field, and so are our casters, so I'm sending it back over to Vaudeville and Orbital.
One of the amazing parts and the learning experience is being able to stand on a stage and show a little bit of a face to the names that we've seen grace a lot of these pitches. Have you ever stood on a stage like that?
I mean, unfortunately, I've not competed on the stage myself. I'm not good enough at these games, but that's why we have the players there and why we're in the booth instead. So, I can talk about it. I can see them there, and I'm sure they're feeling pretty confident, on top of the world and on top of everything that they can be. But the big thing is they want to be the best of the best. They have to get this win in this best of 7, raise that trophy afterwards, and the trophy looks sick.
They really do. And if you've been able to tour the facility, we're here at the Boeing Center in Techport here, and it's awesome. Right down below us, you can see a lot of the venue booths, but also around the 5v5 stage, which is directly below us, I believe, they actually have a lot of the trophies that these teams will be competing for, whether across their own titles, whether across the different leagues and actions that they have. It's very, very fun. Not only that, if you're here as a viewer, as someone just kind of spectating, there's actually a raffle going on that the drawing will be done at 1 p.m., and we will be able to kind of give a little bit of a viewer experience.
There's a lot of like prizes out there for people to take part in too. I saw some like Switch lights that are available as well. So like, definitely recommend signing up for those raffles.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I needed to sign up. Now I'm in trouble. I also saw, I think a few others.
You got like, if this goes fast enough, then you could maybe make it, but still.
You heard it here first. Whoever's playing, please 4-0. I need to go get my entry in. Okay.
No, we want all the games. We want all the games that we can.
We want all 7. We want all 7. So diving on into it, you get to see your opponent. You get to really push the envelope. Thoughts for game number 1? I always like to say, for me, even in a grand finals, even though you played quite a bit, it is a testing out phase. You always want to kind of feel your way around and see what the opponent's going to do. Do you expect to see that here, even on the grand stage where you already probably faced them down?
Yeah, it's interesting to think about that too, right? Because likely these teams have already played some matches today, right? Or at least some sort of a warm-up. So I think, yes, game 1 is typically where we see like the testing phase for where you want to position yourself throughout the rest of it, where the like pace of play will be established in Rocket League in general. But I kind of like when teams don't do that. I like when they go full throttle from the get-go, and saying like, hey, I'm going to score as many goals as I can, see what their reactions and answers are going to be, and put all the shots on as possible. And we'll see if that strategy works out, or if they're just going to be a little passive waiting. And I mean, you see both sides of it, right? If the teams are confident, if they are like, know that they're the best team in the region, then they're just going to be like, okay, I'm just going to go in and do my thing. But if it's a team that's more hesitant, hasn't played against this roster before, or maybe just once or twice, then we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, there's so much to look forward to, and I love the idea that there are so many different ways to start the series off. Like you said, go kind of ham into the game number 1, go a little bit crazy. And the other side for me is, hey, go super slow, mess with the opponent, get in their heads, hey, we're going to take things slow. We got a different strategy book to come on out. Maybe you can mind game them a little bit. That is a far harder strategy to pull off, by the way, fully changing the tempo. But you can take a look here all the way down the line. These players are actively beside each other. They are going to continuously have to see each other on each side. Also, their teammates, though, getting that kind of in-person amp up, that goes amazingly well. But we've seen pop-offs as well. That's the fun part. Do we expect to see pop-offs, and do you get excited for goals? Like, come on, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, we saw in Valorant specifically that they were getting super hype. I mean, you saw the coach hyping up the players behind them every time whenever they, won a round. So it's just similar in Rocket League, right? Instead of rounds, it's goals. It's very similar to like soccer or hockey. I think it's closer to hockey because it's in an arena instead, kind of more contained that way. But you don't have any of the fights. I mean, demos are technically that, I guess, in Rocket League, but, it's a little different.
Yeah. Listen, I really, really, really love watching fast rounds in Rocket League, where we see a goal scored, kickoff, hey, go answer it back. Because also there is that mental game of if the opponent scores, you don't want to sit on the goose egg for far too long. It gets a little bit scary. I will say, though, if we see an all-out war of 7, 8, 9 goals, I'm going to be very, very worried for the rest of the series. We got such a long pace of play, and I'm excited to see what they can do. It looks like we're getting the last few checks going in here, and it will be all set. So, looking at it further as well, with these teams, do we expect to go all 7 in a great fashion, or are we expecting a little bit slower in the OTs? What would you hope to see from them?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good on that one, too. So we'll see what, these teams can do. They're trying to hype up the crowd, chirping against each other, too. I'd love to see it, rooting each other on. And you can see the crowd that's actually, like, right in front of them.
Yeah.
Pretty full for this, too. I mean, so many people have shown up for this event here at the Boeing Center at Techport. It's pretty great that they've been able to enjoy, the amenities, enjoy everything else as well. And, as these teams are getting all set up, I love those keyboards, by the way. Shout out to the peripherals that these players have. But most of them use a controller, of course. Shout out to Patty if he's anywhere in the building too. One of the main mouse and keyboard players. I think he's just a keyboard player though, if I remember correctly.
That is wild to think about.
Yeah.
That is really interesting because I do also feel when it comes to Rocket League, it is the one esport, in my opinion, that there can be that strong variety without losing a lot of the technical expertise behind it. When you go into the comfort levels, how do you like to turn? How do you like to move around? When it comes to Rocket League, if you look at something like League of Legends, you've seen things that get a little bit weird. Yes, people have tried control. Yes, people have tried accessibility, and they just recently introduced WASDA. Let's hold off on that one. When it comes to things like Overwatch, when it comes to things like Marvel Rivals, we've seen keyboard and mouse as well as controller. With Rocket League, it's just, there is no comparison. It's all about the person piloting behind it, and that's what we're excited to see. Players are very much getting excited, and I'm hoping that they are ready to ramp into this game one full series of Bound. Things are going to get hot very, very quickly.
Yeah, these teams, getting all warmed up and ready and just making sure that all of their tech is working properly before we get started. And I think that's a big thing too, right? What's interesting too, I mean, we've talked about this, I'm sure, a lot with LAN environments. It's different than your typical setup either at your high school or at your own house where you have your comfortability, you have multiple monitors, or you have, a certain chair that you like or angle that you like to go for. So we'll have to see what they can do, but we're just waiting for these teams, get all properly set up because it's not the same as they're used to playing at home, right? So they want to be as comfortable as possible. They want to have, everything working properly. They got to make sure their headset's connected and that they have their controllers connected and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of hardware going on for these matchups to even work, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I will always say I like playing my own setup, but I've never been super crazy about it because I've seen some people, they get the tape measure out, they're getting everything adjusted. That's mostly Counter-Strike. I'm so sorry, everyone that has to really make sure that they're inches away. But it does make a very big difference in learning how to adjust, learning how to play on the fly, whether the height of the desk or anything of the sort. It is important because you want to play your best. You want to bring your best to the table, to the pitch, to the field. And we have game number 1 for your viewing pleasure. It is the GrandFinals of the Rocket League R20 season.
Yeah, we have the Titans on the orange side looking to see what they can do already with the initiative off the kickoff. We saw some early pressure from them as well. Great looks on their side of things too. I think that's Atomic going for an attack, but unfortunately couldn't get it just yet, so Sokorla might have a chance here on the backboard just to clear this one away. We saw a demo on their own end in the midfield line, trying to hold on to possession as best as possible and see how far they can take this forward.
I like it. Solo roll with 40 seconds. As we said, a little bit of a test, making sure that, hey, we go ahead and take a look. Are we going to go fast? Are we going to go slow? How do we want to inflict as much as we can? That will be Atomic taking a very strong one. Or Atomic, I do apologize. Great shot from the middle. I love that play and the wings to go flying high here for the Titans. Strong start in the opening minutes. SnakeBytes, they're the ones that are going to have to try and bounce back. And it gets rough. Whenever we look at a single goal, I always like to see an answer right away. Because if you can answer right away, it goes back to a net zero position, and you're going, okay, look, we don't have to fight as hard. As time winds down, though, you're in a position of we are chasing a goal, and a chasing goal is so dangerous, so I'm glad to see Inky scoring one back yet again, only about 20 seconds after. Great equalizer.
Huge equalizer here as well. Love to see it on their side of things too, and having the way that they've been able to react to this other team. I mean, this SWL team, they put a lot of pressure on. They got that first goal, and now the other side we see for the blue side doing the best that they can as well. So Charge, I really look out for them on this defensive end just to keep their team sustained. Inky, you know, getting that first goal for their team is huge.
It was a very powerful one, and they're looking for a little bit more as the ball flies in front of the net, and it is going to be Justina rocking with yet another. This game number one is starting to become electric. Hey, listen, I said I wanted to go a little bit slower. I wanted to see it, you know, figure things out. Both teams are saying no dice. We know how we want to play. We will play our game of offense, and if you are not ready, we will take advantage. Beautiful job by Justina right there.
Great work from them. Got to see some good looks from Atomic here too. They got the first goal for their team, so already have a bit of a lead before the second half of game number one. And this being a best of 7, I mean, game one, it sets the pace for the series, right? So they want to start out strong. I know in the 5v5 stage yesterday, we saw, you know, a lot of teams win one game and then the rest of it was a bit of a struggle. But the Titans now in the orange half versus SnakeBytes on the other side. SnakeBytes, they have a chance that they can get this away, but they got to be careful leaving their net open that wide.
I mean, some of these 50-50s that land in front of the net are so scary. Good clear coming out on the side by Electric. They'll try and bounce back, but they only have one boost in their bank. They're able to grab a max, but you're unable to round out. Instead, it's Scarola. Will hold on to that front. Great flip. Atomic blocks on the net by high flying by Electric. They try and set it up for a teammate, and it will. 2-tap off the back gives Inky the striker position. 2-2 is where we stand.
That's the second one from Inky here as well. So consistent for this team, and I love to see, you know, the action between these two, right? Fighting back and forth, tooth and nail for this game one victory, as competitive as can be here for R20. And so many schools that come down to these final two, and they want to prove that they are the best of the best.
I love that idea, Electric trying to position it to the top left goal line, but unfortunately the demos and the bumps have started to get into the way, so the setup for the teammate was not there. Scarola now getting bumped to midfield, as well as a chase down the side, very heavily in your favor, but it's off to the side. You can't get in front of the net. Atomic tried their best, but Justina picks it up mid, so it's constant aggression coming out from the side of the Titans, crossing in front of the net once more. Ball goes high, defense is in their favor, and Electric digs it out.
Well, less than 2 minutes remaining now. See what this team can do of the SnakeBytes on the blue side again, and the Titans on the orange side as well. Scarola might have a chance to get possession of the ball for a goal. Justina dropping it down. There's the angle, so close, but off the post and out.
I have to give credit. We saw such fierce offense earlier, and now we're seeing excellent defense. This idea of we let them score one too many times, the quick shift of the mental. How do we fix these issues that are currently arising in this game plan? And you can feel the tension between these teams. 1 minute currently remaining. It is 2-2. It's a great way to start this R20 Grand Finals for Rocket League. Ball in front of the net against SnakeBytes. They're trying to force it out. Minute left. Let's see where this lands. slow and steady, brings it out. Electric. Hey, okay. Atomic's like, I got this, guys. Don't worry. I can fight.
Fight with the best of them. Unfortunately, though, SnakeBytes trying to see what they can do here. A good potential counterattack from Electric Fire. Great name, by the way. I love the names for these teams.
Yeah.
Also the schools too. SnakeBytes versus Titans is pretty sick. But the Titans themselves, they looked really strong in the first half, but in this last bit, after that inky goal, they've been struggling to find a purchase for another one to close out this game before overtime.
I'm so scared. I'm seeing 6 in the corner, and I really am getting scared about it. But so far, it's a great dig once more. Nobody wants to send, but there it is. Good follow. Atomic able to close on in for their second. 6 shots, 2 converted, and in a scramble, they make it happen.
Great from Atomic there. This time off the crossbar and in. So we'll see what the SnakeBytes have to answer. I mean, every time we've seen a goal from the orange half, the blue half has also had their own goal to answer right afterwards. But not much time remaining. 5 seconds now and counting. Justino with the shot, though, trying to close things out. Great defensive effort, but no possession for the blue side. Inky tries to keep it up, but can't go anywhere with it. Still in the corner. It is Electric Fire towards the midfield. Inky tries to do something. Charge, waited for the boost and has it, but can they get there in time? Someone needs to touch as it goes down, and Titans will win this one by just so close of a matchup.
By the hairs on their chinny chin chin, we see them hold on. I mean, there were at least 3 moments in the last minute and a half where we saw a scramble either on the goal line, in the goal line, or just outside. And in those 3 positions, I don't like any of them. My heart rate will not maintain. It was so well done of defense, offense, and the responses. I will say this once and only once. I liken good, strong Rocket League to chess. You are answering your opponent's moves on the board and constantly adjusting to their play style. The player that is able to read an opponent's moves first will generally win out on top. That's what we saw here. Second half, very quick adjustment to defense, and then the filter. How do we balance?
I mean, I think the big thing is not getting too overzealous on offense, right? If you're trying to find a balance, like overextending is the bane of so many Rocket League teams' existence, right? So I think we need to see some sort of adjustment in that capacity. It's like, okay, we got the goal and we want to keep going, getting more goals, but you got to take a step back and say, hey, we have the lead. Let's try and lock it down. That's the big difference here. And unfortunately, you know, for the side of the SnakeBytes, they had it tied. You know, they came back. They were down by 1 and were able to bring it to 2-2. But there wasn't enough time after that last goal was scored for them to even have a sort of comeback strategy like they did before. So worked out well for the Titans. I'm sure they're happy about it. But for the SnakeBytes, I mean, again, if they can get those goals earlier on, it'll be much easier. But they had to play a bit more reactive this time.
Well, the reaction is good with a quick demo off the side. Atomic goes high, lobbing it into the center, but Inky very okay with picking that one up. Good diversion on both ends. So, very quick responses between the two, saying, let's go ahead and play for a little bit of fun. Let's send the ball high, let's send the ball low. Let's see what you do not respond to. Of course, if you're just demoed, you can't respond at all. Great tactic overall.
Yeah, I mean, the Titans are doing, you know, a great job here to keep some pressure up. And I love the chasing down of the demos just to get rid of anyone on the field as best as they can. But the SnakeBytes, I mean, they've had their work cut out for them, especially with how we saw that last game, right? How to play from behind, tied things up, but then couldn't find purchase afterwards. We're stuck in their own side for such a long time. So Titans themselves, they just got to keep playing their game, and they'll look pretty solid in this second one. Again, this being a best of 7, first to 4 wins the series and that lovely trophy on the stage that both of them are vying for.
Off the corner pocket. Just playing on the sides of the field. Good interference. Escarola rolling along a little bit on the wings. Still challenges and the steals. A couple clears that just aren't hitting as neatly as you would like, and that's why Inky's trying to aggress against. I love this idea of, hey, if you're gonna slow roll it, you better be careful about these steals. Charge looking, not gonna happen. Great force out by Titans saying, okay, the ball's sitting in front of our net for a little bit too long. We need to find a way to kind of punt it out of here.
Yeah, we'll see what SnakeBytes can do on this one, right? I think the big thing is for them specifically, like getting possession of the ball in the midfield, holding on to it as long as possible, getting some infield passing plays, because the high-flying action that Titans are going for, and this was a little worried about into this matchup, is very difficult to go toe-to-toe with unless you're feeling super confident on the sticks. And right now, Electric Fire, doing a great job locking down that midfield line, but they need a little bit more backup from the rest of their teammates on this one. So Titans themselves doing a great job here to keep the pressure going, and there's the first goal from Atomic.
Once again, solid off that ramp, and Atomic steps up big to go ahead and break on it. You take a look at this position, it was a bounce pass off the corner, and you saw Charge just in front. Great redirect to the lower ground. Makes it so simple. And for Titans, they once again step up to the lead. They are now able to breathe a little bit easier in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Titans doing a great job for themselves, especially, well, I was going to say on the other side of things, though, Electric Fire getting on board for the first time. It was Inky who got the last 2 goals in game 1, but a great read from them.
Would you say that was an electric goal? Or that it was
Pretty
on fire?
Yeah, I'd say
Hey, there we go, there we go. Looking at the goal, though, that is what we want. And once again, it mirrors a lot of that game 1 scenario. Very fast on the retake, very fast on the answering, and that's what we want to see. And we want to see punishments of mistakes as well. As we get further and further, some of these balls that are dropping from the net, I need to see them aggressed upon and punished, meaning, hey, if you're going to drop it in front of your net, we will take advantage and see that kind of pin to the top of their minds.
Well, SnakeBytes, I mean, they are able to answer back. That's kind of the consistency we've seen from them, but need a little bit more is the big thing. Titans themselves, looking on their side, they have a couple of chances here and there, and we saw a lot more in the last game specifically. They had 11 shots to the 8 that the SnakeBytes had, but even then, the Titans have been a little bit more passive this time because SnakeBytes had so much more room to work with on the field, but the problem is they were pushed up too far. That's the overzealousness that I was talking about. Great goal by Justina.
I love it. Justina, also the secondary striker for the team, it feels like, and watch this, just in time. Very, very well done. In a position that for the Titans, you are going to sit on for quite a few moments. SnakeBytes, will you answer back? Double charge. Charge takes it in front and will now round out to the left side. Electric spins it in front of the net, and it is able to be cleared. Titans has shored up their defense and don't allow a re-goal.
Great for the Titans to lock things down after they get the lead once again, but there's still so much time remaining, so there is a chance for SnakeBytes to try their best and bounce back. But even then, Charge with a chance to at least send this into the corner. Didn't have enough power behind it though, so it made it easy for Maine to keep that one at bay. Chance off the backboard, great deflection though, and Scalora Maine will do whatever they can on this one to keep the pressure away from their backboard. And Justina, a great defensive effort too.
Or Justina. Maybe following the patterns here of a great midfield challenge. Inky once again trying to round out to the right side. Say, please give me this chance with a minute left. We really need to bring some sort of offensive into our own favor. Justina slow rolling it and starting to burn a little bit of time. Good flick over Electric, but there's a steal off the crossbar. Unfortunately, the ball rolls a little bit too far to the left. Electric able to punch it back out, but SnakeBytes, they're struggling a little bit, and Titans playing with their food a little bit. They know they just have to burn down time. As long as they don't let the ball fall in front of their net, they are in a comfortable position. Great clear off to the left, and for the Titans, you just kind of breathe easy.
Less than a minute remaining now for SnakeBytes to keep this out of their net and go on the counterattack. Charge has a chance. Nobody's home. 30 seconds. They might be able to save it, but it's a little too late. Charge gets it through to tie things up.
And sometimes you just gotta take charge. I don't know what else to say about it. Straight down the midfield, and that's the best way to do so. Now here's the deal. Titans have been in this position before, same as SnakeBytes last time we saw it. Titans just re-aggress, stole a goal off the kickoff as well. Will it happen one more time?
They can do it. They've showcased it before, but will SnakeBytes let them have it this go around? The demo's not going to make it easy for Saysville. Electric Fire and Inky are in position to stop things out and at least clear it to the midfield. Less than 10 seconds to go though off the backboard. Electric Fire is here and has the fire in their hearts to take it down the field if they can get possession for long enough, but we might have our first overtime, and yes we do.
Hey, sometimes you got to give the heart a little bit of a break. Okay, listen, I don't want to be looking at that number ticking out. I don't want to see the with zeros in front. The problem is, once you go to OT, anything can happen. We've seen 8-second OTs, we've seen 17-minute OTs, and it's gonna end right here. Inky gets some revenge against the Titans, and will push SnakeBytes to 1 as well.
Was waiting for Inky to be activated yet again, but that was a full team effort once they got that kickoff, 8 seconds into overtime, and the SnakeBytes able to tie things up. And this is what we're talking about. It's not going to be so easy for teams to get just a sweep in these final matchups. And, you know, so many shots from both of these teams, pretty even for the most part, but the Titans obviously had more aggression, 3 more shots than the SnakeBytes themselves. And I think that was a big difference maker for them, is that they were able to keep that pressure going. Unfortunately, they overextended themselves, and that's where we saw it bite them in the butt.
I mean, especially in OT, it's a little bit hard to call, I think, because you are so determined on, well, it's kind of a reset, but we have to choose one. We have to choose offense, defense. There's no way to really set yourself into a beautiful, like, deep variety. There's no way to equalize all parts of that triangle. What you can do is you can guess, and the guess just went awry. And again, they did it earlier too, where they were the ones that got away with that third goal. So no surprise. The good news is you're now tied once more. It's down to a BO5 instead of a BO7.
That's true. That's true. But still a lot of games to play.
Absolutely.
Still a lot more that they have ahead of them. I mean, 3 games for either of these teams to be crowned the R20 champions here at the Forge Scholastic Esports Championship, powered by Army National Guard. And I mean, both these teams doing what they can to prove their worth in this series. We saw one time from the side of the Titans in game 1, they were able to get that last minute goal and prove it so much more worthy for them that they could come out on top. And unfortunately for them in that last game, it just felt like things were slipping away from them for a bit. So we'll see how things continue in this next one.
I love that you can actually see SnakeBytes, who we saw on your screen first. Listen, that coach in the back's got some muscles. They are powering through and making sure that the team is very comfortable. And we saw on the flip side, looking at the side of the Titans, they're also very calm and collected. Neither team in any dire straits of any sort, meaning even though they're on land, they are comfortable. They're in their element. They are here to compete. Game number 3, of course, 15 seconds in. Demos flying all over the place. Teams are ready to activate in more ways than one and get down and dirty here in the pitch.
Electric Fire, nice pressuring shot against Corolla Main. They will keep this in possession for now, and I like the patience play that we're seeing from the Titans so far, making sure that they are able to keep up with the pressure, but the problem is they left it wide open for Inky, and they'll capitalize.
Well played, Inky. The ender of game 2, and now the opener for game 3, and it's just so good. I love that we are seeing, and I can see it's a little bit of fun with the faking. Nah, listen, we're all real here. Justine against Revenge, though, and saying, listen, we are going to deal. That's a double demo, by the way. Very impressive to take 2 off the rip and saying, we are not allowing you an offensive of any sort because we've seen what you can do. Very, very good.
Great work being put in by both of these teams, but there's Corolla Main able to tie things up a little bit on their own end. Titans will be on the board this go around.
Audible. My wings are coming back. My wings are coming back. You and I cast so much Rocket League yesterday over for a different league, and I felt my wings. I don't know if I'm an angel or not, but I need to be careful about what I say. We're looking at a tied game right now. 4 minutes on the clock. Good kickoff, it goes split. I like that natural setup. Neither team is really chasing, and you are allowed to kind of start from step 1 instead of step -2.
Electric Fire, though. I mean, I'm loving this more aggressive play style that we're seeing from them on offense. Keeping the pressure up, but also setting it up into awkward positions away from the Titans players on defense, making it that much more difficult for them to go for any comfortable angles to clear it out, and how to go for wacky plays like that off the backboard towards the midfield. The demo comes out onto charge, and Titans still desperate for another angle, another answer. This is the first time that we have seen them down like this, and then eventually we're able to tie things up. So it's Corolla Main. We'll see what they can do to keep the pressure going. There's a great centering shot, but Inky right in the way of the plans of the Titans, and see if they can get a counterattack of their own.
A counterattack? Unsure. An attack? Absolutely. You are moving that ball around the field as best you can. Charge looking to interfere with Scarola as well. Inky on 10, not exactly enough boost to really get crazy, but you pick up a max later on. You're also stealing away from the side of the Titans, who are not kind of juggling themselves. Two in the corner, weren't able to really get some movement. And I will say, for their defense, it's good, but they hold the ball a little bit too long for my personal liking, which leaves them open to opportunities like this. Ball flies sideways, trying to move the defense out and around, but it does not happen. Great stalwart tactics from the Titans, but it's still this issue. The ball's still on your side of the field, and now the relentless pressure from Inky grants a second to SnakeBytes.
Huge from Inky on that one. SnakeBytes, I mean, they've been taking the advantage since that last game, right? We saw Inky get the final goal for their squad, able to close things out in OT very quickly, and then it's been a different story here for the Titans. They've been having to play from behind where they were feeling a lot more comfortable in game one, but Inky again going for a dagger for the hat trick here.
Just that easy. Just that easy. Calligraphy in motion here. Inky, top left, middle, bottom right. It does not matter where you draw. And SnakeBytes really falling into their element in this game number 3. But the warm-up might not be over as Atomic tried to shrink away with the kickoff. It ain't gonna land too easily. It was off to the left side, but it's still Titans' chance to play. They've been on defense for so long. Can they mount an offensive? Pass to the backside. Justina now needs to get back on defense. The offensive is cut short. Inky back in possession. A bit of the pass. Justina on the right flank. Electric rolling on in, tries to dribble a little bit, gets away from him, and actually takes that time to pick up a max. They'll flip up off the ceiling, sends it down to the ground. Inky, can you punch it? Ah, just too little of a gap. Well done by Titans, but SnakeBytes getting closer and closer to those extra goals.
Justina, we'll see what they can do with this pressure that they're putting on offense with Scarola main as well. Have to go back to home base though for some extra boost, so Atomic will be there to try and clear the way for the Titans. They still have time for a bounce back and a chance at redemption in game 3, but the problem is that the pressure is still there on the defensive end. So close to getting it in, nobody can touch it. Finally, Atomic pushes it through.
That's that VLR replay that you always gotta have. You gotta be like, dude, did it really go in? Well, yes, this time it did. However, for Titans, it was a little bit of a struggle. That was a very rough position to be in a chaos and a scramble ball. You don't want to be so close and still be wondering if you're going to get the goal. For the Titans, they're trying to regain some of their momentum. And with a minute remaining, you still close the gap of 1. I think it's very doable, but you need to mount an offensive like what SnakeBytes threw down earlier, which is constant, relentless, never-ending against your defensive rotations.
43 seconds now. We'll see what these teams can do with SnakeBytes still wanting to hold on to their lead for now. Even if they gave up that 1 goal, they still at least have a bit of a cushion, but there's still time on the side of the Titans to send us to yet another OT with SnakeBytes. With the potential demo to try and clear the way. They want to make sure they can secure at least another cushion goal for them on the way home, but Justina on the counterattack, great stop by Charge in the middle of the field. Scarola main has to go toe-to-toe with them on the backboard, drop down with the waterfall. Electric Fire was so close, but here's Atomic on one last-ditch effort. 4 seconds denied from the side, and it will touch down. Titans, well, they won't get the win this time, or the OT, it'll be SnakeBytes getting that one instead.
And for SnakeBytes, just far more consistent this time around. We were wondering, with the levels of aggression, with the levels of offense, they were consistently firing, but Inky really stepping up there. You can see the multiple assists coming in from Electric Fire and Charge. Very impressive, but 5 shots on their own. That is what we like to see. When taking a look at this squad, I think you have to be impressed. Once again, neutral, not getting too antsy or anything, keeping a level head. We got more games to play. We are not going to get too excited until we finish the series.
That's the big thing, like seeing, those pop-off moments is great for a LAN, but you still need 2 more game wins to congratulate yourselves at the end of it as the champions for this and have the crowd all cheering your names. But the big thing here is that what wasn't working in game 1 for the SnakeBytes is now working in game 2 and 3, right? And I think the big thing is them taking that initiative. They're getting those early goals and forcing their opponents in the Titans to bounce back. And there's the trophy that they are competing for. Again, shout out to our presenting sponsor, Army National Guard, here for the Forge Classic Esports Championship. This is the R20 Nationals that are at it as well. And we'll see what these teams can show us, but it's been close matches every time, like a 1-goal differential. So like you flip a coin and that'll show who's going to win. The big thing though is that Titans, unfortunately, they've been having to play catch up themselves in the second and third games, similar to what we saw from SnakeBytes in the first.
Yes, and that comes in the form of them maybe getting that first goal, and then it's just responded to. So we do see them sitting on the lower ground a lot, and with that chase, it brings a little bit more desperation that you see in the second half more often than not. So for the Titans, I do want to see them bring that first goal energy once more, but also follow through. Do not let up. You can hear the crowd in the background because we are in the center of the stadium. It's so much fun to hear them getting it behind us, as that's electric to bring us right on in. SnakeBytes are leaving nothing to chance. They do not wait for the Titans to rev up their engine. Instead, they snipe the first for themselves.
Great for the SnakeBytes. They want the momentum to carry over into a third game in a row. They'd be on championship point if they do manage to win this one. That's just one rung in the road that they need to travel all the way to that path to victory. And the Titans themselves, again, having to play from behind, but they got to be careful. These counterattacks from Inky are deadly.
Oh, a fake slides the ball to the outside, and you watch the poor defender go, that ain't the way you're going. Bye-bye, Inky. Solid outplay. SnakeBytes up to 0 for Titans. Rough position as they are yet again chasing the backs of SnakeBytes in this marathon. SnakeBytes pretty well ahead.
SnakeBytes, I mean, looking on their side as well. We'll see what they can do here to keep this momentum going into the next 4 minutes. They don't want to get ahead of themselves is the big thing, but they are feeling on top of the world. This is the fastest they've gotten a 2-goal lead against their opponents. It's been pretty much back and forth for the most part. So the Titans, they are having to also put the pedal to the metal, but got to be careful again on these counters.
Nice little bumps. Slowing things down, ball in front though, and Atomic. I saw that opportunity, but I thought the defender was going to get there. Solid play. And that is a 73-mile-per-hour burner that charge was not ready for. Great job by the Titans to fight back, but there's still a few more steps to take.
3:41 here. SnakeBytes themselves. They have been in this position before, right, where the Titans have been able to bounce back pretty quickly with a goal, but cool, calm, and collected is what we've seen for the most part, especially Electric Fire. I feel like they've stepped up the most out of this team in terms of like the defense and the midfield posturing from this SnakeBytes roster. And the Titans on the other end, I mean, they've had a lot of star performers. We saw, you know, Atomic putting some good work in, Scarola main as well, Justine. So they're all doing what's necessary to keep the pressure going against SnakeBytes and not making an easy victory for them at any intents and purposes.
Slow fight in the center. Well, not the center, center of the left side. Cena taking that high though. Another great score that just hasn't gone off the ground for this game. The Titans, they haven't been able to activate them, and it's a problem. A bit of a roll though. Electric once again aiming for the net. It will be kicked away. Inky to pick it up in the aerial territory. Attempt by Atomic once more. An overextension leaves the net a little bit unguarded. Inky rolls it onto a teammate, and Atomic with that respawn will be once again okay. First half is done in this game, for it is time for the second.
And the Titans just trying to hold on to the lead only being this far away. It seems like they're so close they can grasp at least another goal into their hands and tie things up. But the problem is SnakeBytes have turned up the pressure, especially at the midfield line. Justina desperately tries to dash this away into the corner. Does flip it up, but charges there again. Great save by Scarola main, but no boost for anyone on the side of the Titans. So that will be an easy follow through by Electric Fire for an even stronger lead.
And this one you could almost feel coming half a mile away. Inky with the love tap and then electric to bank it away. You could see Titans slowly getting drawn out of their defensive position, didn't have the boost, and it's just SnakeBytes to take it away. Solid play, and now they're in that same position that they were in the previous. 2 goals up, a very solid lead for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, looking at SnakeBytes specifically, this is the best performance we've seen from them so far. They continue to ramp up throughout the series, and Titans, unfortunately, on their end of things, we haven't seen enough of them on offense because they've been stuck in their half for such a long time. No boost, no chances, and SnakeBytes have really been able to just suffocate the defense and make it so that there's relatively no offense. There's been like chances of counterattacks, of course. We saw the 1 goal that did go through, but apart from that, it's been some perfect Rocket League being played, especially from Electric Fire with the hat trick.
Everyone's getting a piece of the action right now. SnakeBytes saying, okay, first it's Inky, now it's Electric. Who's next on that tour? Well, whoever decides the spotlight is theirs. Well done to SnakeBytes, who are now 4-1. And that feels like the Titans are once again kind of faltering here. The momentum might not be in their favor. So they need to kind of rally back here. We'll be looking at the next game. As you said, though, SnakeBytes win. They're on series point.
That'll be a huge thing for the SnakeBytes roster. They want to close this thing out and go enjoy the rest of the festivities with their friends and family. And, well, with a minute remaining, they are 1 step closer to it. Titans, 3 goals have to be scored to at least send us to an overtime at minimum. And they need to put the pedal to the metal here and now. Atomic trying to do just that, but goes into the corner. Charge has a chance, but the midfield is calling the ball's name from the SnakeBytes side. And Electric Fire can't keep the ball in play, but it does get centered by Justina, tried to be cleared out by the Titans, and they do hold on for now.
They're fighting hard, but for SnakeBytes, it's all about just grounding that ball. 30 seconds left. Feels like they're ready for the raffle a little bit, which we talked about earlier. It's getting closer and closer. They want to enter their name in as well, whether the prize is the coveted cup, the trophy. It's all about getting that action in and firing on all cylinders here. 10 seconds left. And with that being said, I do not believe the Titans have any room to breathe. SnakeBytes will close out this game number 4 and look for just 1 more. A powerful spot here in the R20 Rocket League Grand Finals.
Great look from SnakeBytes. Electric Fire really the one who stepped up to the plate big for this team, especially seeing 10 shots from them. Titans, the least amount of shots we've seen from them the entire series, kept to only 5. They're typically somewhere around like 10 shots or 11 from what we've seen in previous games. So I think that's the big difference maker here, Orbital, is that the overwhelming offense, but also the midfield presence, right? We didn't see a chance for a counterattack. It's at the 1 goal that came out from the Titans. So it's a tough spot to find yourselves in when you're, down, you're stuck in your side, you don't have any boost, and you're trying to go for these saves that you can, but there's only so much you can do when you don't have boost to work with.
And that also comes from the fact that not just on the offensive, not just for the Titans, they struggle to find shots. It's the fact that there's so much running interference in them as well, not just in the midfield pressure, but every time in front of their own goal, we're watching as Inky, as everyone is just kind of battering them. There was one point where I think I saw Inky slide by, grab 2 fulls, and just run off. And you look at the Titans, and you're just like, I don't know what I can do about that. Like, there's not much you can do. It's a starvation tactic that works well even in the higher level when you keep track of those boosts. So for SnakeBytes, you're slowly poisoning your opponent to take the victory. I can see where they got their namesake.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's such a tough spot too because they don't have the anti-venom, unfortunately, for the Titans. And it's rough on that end, right? Because you saw how good they did in game 1, right? They were able to get those goals. They had some comebacks from the SnakeBytes side, but even then, it's unfortunate for their end because they just haven't been able to find their footing because they haven't gotten the first goal in a while.
Right.
So maybe getting that first goal will be the difference maker here for the Titans if they can get it as we go into championship point for the SnakeBytes here for R20.
We will get the scores on the top side. It is 3 so far to SnakeBytes side, and I want to see if they can put 1 more, make it 4. Titans though, Justina as well as Atomic. They say we are Atomic, and we will show you what the name means. Good flip to try and keep the ball up and away from the opponents, but Scarola, who's also been fairly quiet, like you said, not being able to reach a lot of those positions. They're going to try and do it for themselves. Justina watching as the teammate comes in, and Atomic, there it is! We wish for the Titans to bring it back with an early goal, and this time they do it in just 30 7 seconds. Solid. Right past SnakeBytes.
No, this is huge, actually, for the SnakeBytes side specifically, especially, oh, not SnakeBytes, excuse me, the Titans side. Because they got that early goal, that's what they've been missing in these previous games. So SnakeBytes specifically, I think they just need a quick answer back. We saw it in game 1. We've seen some good looks from the Titans as well. And if they can keep this pressure going, get a second goal, that will be the difference maker for the Titans here.
The Titans are taking their first step. They've identified the Venom.
Yes.
They've identified the Venom. Now it's time to figure out the anti-Venom. What is the chemical reaction? Is it, hey, we got to look for more demos. We just got to bully them out of our side. Is it about the bumps? Hey, are they passing a little bit more? Are they interfering with our passes? Third, develop that strategy and then inject it. Put them at arm's length. Deny them any further aggression. Good attempt by Titans. This time, one of the more cohesive 2-shot attempts, I believe.
And Titans, I feel like they're on top of the world at this point, too, with Justina with the air dribble, bump, an amazing mechanical play for the goal.
That is the first time I believe we've seen a solo aerial. Look at this, back tap to bump out, fully body blocking. It's one of those techniques that normally see a runner in front of the striker. It is so well done by Justina, who has shown such excellence in these motivational goals. For the first time, Titans up 2-0.
Yeah, great work from them. Scarola main trying to set up Atomic as well with the answer, but it's not going to be so easy for this Titans team to get a third goal. SnakeBytes trying desperately to hold on to any semblance of hope that they can to prolong this series, right? Again, they're up 3-1. They just need one game win, but the demo's not going to make it easy. And Charter can't get the touch. Justina credited with another goal.
We were too distracted. We were distracted by the chasing demo on our screen that we forgot. Look at this. Charge tried to flip and Justina's like, guys, I got it. What an opportunity. And this is what we're talking about. These moments of lapses in their concentration. You have to always be aware of what's going on in the map on the field, or else an opponent will take advantage. 3-0 for the Titans right now.
Time ticking it down for a SnakeBytes. Again, they at least have, one more mulligan or two if they really need it. So they have a couple of extra lives at this point, even if they do go down here. But half a game is a long time, and SnakeBytes, we've seen them be able to bounce back before, at least bring it close into these scenarios. But Titans really took their time between the game, right? Talk amongst each other, see exactly what the best strategy will be to get the victory here, and they've made the adjustments. That's the big thing to note for this Titans roster. So keep up what they've been doing, and they'll look strong to close out this game and potentially force a Game 7 for our first Rocket League match in the mainstream. If this is the first series, I can't imagine how the rest of them will be.
No matter how it goes, though, everyone will remember the Titans. Of course, for SnakeBytes, still trying to do the exact same as they shove that goose egg in. They were so close to getting a goal behind, but again, Titans, as you said, they ramped it up. They started to find their footing in this game, whether by given opportunities, the confidence is back as the defense has been shored up in more ways than one. With a minute and a half, it's SnakeBytes that are looking a little bit desperate in this position to start getting scores, and it's just not gonna happen. Inky, great diversion, but it's a scary tone to take.
Justina, star of the show in this game, you gotta say.
Yeah.
Kind of an awkward goal for their second one, but they'll take it either way. And keeping that pressure up is the big thing, right? Atomic set the pace. Justina was the one to put the final nails, you could say, in the coffin of SnakeBytes for this game. And with no goals yet on the board and still a minute looming ahead of them and stuck in their half, it looks like they're more just trying to position, what can we figure out from here into the next game, the next time we're in this scenario. And time's ticking down, so are the chances that they can come back, but still technically possible.
It truly is, but you can also see that for the Titans. Well, that's an opportunity. Electric's done it before. Great defense. I was about to say, Titans have done this before, and most teams usually do. If you're up quite a bit, by about a minute to a minute and a half, you actually transition into a much softer defense, as Electric says, we're still going to look at a score. And as I was talking, I think the little black wing come out. I cast a cursor a little bit too quickly. And Electric says, yeah, you better listen to Audible. We're still more games in. However, 30 seconds, you got to get 2 in here.
Yeah, at least to send us to overtime and have a chance to close things out early. A bit of an awkward kickoff between these teams, but still goes the orange half. Atomic, a great challenge, but Inky's there so quick to the punch on this play. So they've been the main scorer for this team on the side of SnakeBytes. So if Inky can get activated and at least get a goal, they'll have some semblance of hope in this game number 5. But less than 10 seconds and 2 goals to overcome. Electric Fire needs to score here and now, and not enough time now for them to come back, unfortunately. So it will be the Titans taking one back and needing at least another to force a game 7.
Heavy respect to the Titans side, though. Very, very well done in bouncing back. And again, calm, cool, collected. Until we see either the defeat or the finish line, we will continue to play our game. I do love that one of the players looks like they actually play standing up. They feel a bit more comfortable in this position, maybe where they can move around. I respect it.
Actually, I think it's them just actually being further away from the monitor itself. So that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, they like to be far away. You know, that's respectable. I feel like most of us are playing too close to our monitors nowadays. I mean, that's why we have glasses probably too.
Listen. We don't talk about how thick my glasses are. There was I've had these specially
protect
made.
your eyesight. Use some blue light glasses or something like that if you don't have them already. But yeah, I mean, I respect that. You know,
Yes.
you have good enough eyesight that you can see the game in front of you, and also you can see your teammates, right? Because you're right next to them, so you have a little bit more of an idea of like, okay, I can see the field in front of me. I can see my teammates beside me where they're positioning as well, and I kind of like that style. Honestly, I'm surprised more people don't do that, but maybe a bit too distracting. Either way, though, that was a great bounce back from the Titans, right? Justina did a great job getting those last 2 goals to secure the victory. Made it so even the one from Electric Fire didn't really matter towards the end, but momentum-wise, it does. And we'll see if SnakeBytes can carry that momentum here, still on championship point, but Titans are fighting back for that game 7.
They want it as bad as anyone else, and I can see it coming to fruition for the Titans. They will fight to the bitter end, but for SnakeBytes, they want to sink their fangs into a win once more. Nobody wants to go up to a 3rd and then watch as the opponent claws back. It means you are entering that 7th in a weird position. So Electric lights up that scoreboard to start, brings 1 to their name in 26 seconds. Well done. On the end for Titans, though, it's no big deal. Again, with how fast these teams have scored and been able to retaliate in some fashion, I feel like the early scores, until we see it bypass a minute, they're like, hey, it's okay, it's no big deal.
Yeah. I mean, if it's the opening moments, it doesn't matter, especially with Scarola Main able to tie things up so quickly into this one and not wasting a single moment. A great attack initially, though, by Justina.
And I think that's just, at this point, you're kind of seeing who can showboat better. I feel like you're like, look. We've all done this. We've done really, really well. Who's got the better goal? Come on, let's see who can carry it. At the same time, you want the victory. So looking at Scarola coming out on the front side, a huge boom and kick as Inky makes up for last game and gives themselves 1.
Massive from Inky, but a bit of a mishap in the midfield for the rotation of the Titans. They had the communication error there that I was talking about before. We got to see them actually work as best as possible, but the problem is that they got a little ahead of themselves, and that's where you got to lock in, especially if you are the Titans here. You are so close to turning things around, but SnakeBytes, they got those 3 games in a row for a reason.
Only gonna get better from here, though. SnakeBytes, once again, seeing victory in their eyes. Nothing along that problematic state of, hey, we're chasing 2 or 3 goal situations. And for Central Catholic High School, a squad coming into this, making a name for their high school itself and a name for themselves, maybe to put themselves on the radar for some collegiate action, maybe down the line. This is a great treat overall. We have now burned through a minute and a half for the Titans and SnakeBytes. They're still challenging out one of our lower scoring games, if I dare say so, at a 1-2 stance. SnakeBytes, are they going to carry it in? Charge on the ground, denied by a bump by the Titans. Scarola goes up, Electric Fire fighting between 2. Justina rolls in front of the net, able to clear ever so gently, but Charge steals away yet another boost and keeps the offense going. Inky right in front of the net. That's Electric trying punch, but it's off the crossbar. And Titans are dug out of their own net. by their fourth teammate.
Great look from the Titans on that one. Keep the momentum going on the counterattack afterwards as well, but the problem is they don't have much boost to work with. Inky, though, a bit of a whiff, kind of baited out by Justina. They saw that they were going to go for the challenge, but Justina just let them flip away from the ball and carried it into the loving arms of their teammates. But even then, Titans still need a shot towards the net to go their way to tie things up, or else this will be the end of the road for them in the R20 Nationals. And right now, Southwest Legacy Titans, they want to do everything that they can to at least force an OT and get ever closer to that Game 7.
Do that, you have to fight just as hard. You take a look at SnakeBytes. They're starting to build a momentum. Same with Titans, though. Ball in the air, currently on SnakeBytes' side. Scarola picks it up in the middle, punches it to the left side, tries to rebound, gets that tap. A charge reads it neatly. Midfield will be the battle for Atomic, rolls into Electric Fire's hands and rounds out to the left side. Ball picking up a little bit of speed here as Electric misses that touch, so Scarola will bring it right back into their own main form. Around the corner they go, charge, unable to touch it, Justina's right there, but they bounce it back to the third member, and it's over the last defender. Atomic will seal the deal for that goal and bring us to a tied game.
Huge from Atomic. Justina, that was a massive flip reset back pass. I've never seen that here at the high school level. Able to set them up perfectly for the tying goal. And now we are less than 2 minutes remaining here for the SnakeBytes that want to close things out and not go to that fateful Game 7. Electric Fire into the air it goes. Has the follow through, but no, it's Atomic instead as they'll get the air dribble into the corner again. Charge there to save the day for SnakeBytes, but Scarola main is heating up.
Love it. Another ball in front of the net. Oh, Justina, I think ran out of boost. I think Justina ran out of boost, tried to go up for it. That's a problem. A little bit of diversion, but Atomic takes that opportunity to swing it right by. Another pass on the side. Is it a fake? Is it the goal? Is it in the corner? The corner holds it down. Are you kidding me, my man? A minute and a half left and both teams tied up. We can't go to OT like this, can we?
We might go to OT on this one, Orbital. SnakeBytes doing everything that they can to keep this away from their own side. Atomic into the heavens and downwards they go with the ball. Scarola main in the midfield just to keep them at bay. Justina has full boost, but it is getting bumped and disrupted by Electric Fire. Less than a minute remains now, and nobody's really had confident possession of the ball, it feels like.
I feel the confidence comes from the touch, definitely not from the maintaining of the ball. You are 100% correct, Vaudable, and that's what makes it scary. If you lose control in front of your net, you're going to run into problems. If you lose control of it in the midfield, you're going to run into problems. Anytime you lose control of the ball, you're going to run into problems. I think that's obvious enough. Looking at the high ground, Justina looking for the 1v1. Charge meets him in the air, and it will be a diversion with 30 seconds left. Charge is looking for their rock. Still zeros across the board, but they can make some magic happen here.
Touch from Justina, but Charge is in the way. They have no boost, but they have a dream of getting a victory here on the main stage for the Forge Scholastic Esports Championship presented by Army National Guard. This is the R20 Nationals. This is less than 10 seconds. And SnakeBytes, they have an opportunity. Inky was there with a save, comes through from Atomic. Time is ticking down, explosions in the background, and it does go to overtime.
I am Atomic. That is how you make a statement with your name. However, now we got to talk about OT. We've seen this end before. It was 12 seconds, maybe max. Are you going to take a breath? Are you going to step back? Are you going to collect yourself? Are you going to amp it up to 60? Are you going to force an opportunity? Inky,
it's open.
Sees it open net. You're going to roll it in. Inky puts it away. Central Catholic High School. The SnakeBytes are your R20 champions.
What a victory at that. All smiles around, but we see the great sportsmanship between these teams as well. You'll see the congratulations amongst each other, but they'll eventually go to the other side too. I mean, Inky, MVP performance in my mind for this team,
easily.
But everyone put in all of the work necessary for that victory. It got close to that Game 7 and the overtimes. We were talking about it, but they were able to close things out and prove that they were the stronger team throughout this series. And I'd say like the 3 games in a row, you know, that momentum is so hard to overcome. And shout out to the Titans. I mean, they gave it their all towards the end. And we're so close to that Game 7 comeback.
Yes, we talked about the steps and what we wanted to see emulated from maybe those in the collegiate scene, maybe at a higher level of play. And one of those is resilience. How do you keep fighting back? How do you deal with the fact that maybe you're up against a very stiff opponent in there? That's what you did. You fought. We were literally in OT. a goal either way was the deciding factor. You would have either gone to game 7, you would have had the momentum when you game over, and it's those types of moments that either make or break an opponent or a team, and I feel everyone rose up. Like you said, it is going to be the Titans unfortunately falling here, but in my words, you will remember them. Looking on the other side for SnakeBytes,
I see what you did
I
there.
hope that we get to see more of these players, though. It was so impressive, like you said, when we
Everyone
also talked
did a
about,
great job.
Oh yeah. But I want to say for Inky, I love what you said about them, Audible.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to a collegiate section, you do need that star power.
You do need that star power, yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get recruited in the future as well from, this field into the collegiate scene itself. But again, congratulations to the SnakeBytes here for the victory that they had. I mean, pretty great performance across the board. On the other end, too, I mean, the Titans, we saw some great looks from them, too. Scarola, Maine, Justina, and then we also had on their side of things as well, we had Atomic, that was doing really great work on the offensive side. The problem was that they got down so early in so many of these games. And hopefully, they can take, some words of wisdom from this game. Is like, hey, just keep things going as best as you can for this matchup, and then in the future get that early goal as much as you can. Lock down your defensive end and don't overcommit, because we saw a lot of counterattack goals towards the end, and I feel like the excitement gets to you on the stage, right? You have the goal, you see it in your sights, you're potentially going to get the lead, but then the other team is able to bounce back, and that's the big thing, is like knowing when to lock in and knowing when to let loose.
And when we talk about that as well, it's the other factor of, it goes back to the game plan. It really does, but I love the fact that you were pointing out, hey, it is about the stage presence. How do you draw yourself back? And it does come down to also coaching factor. I think if you have a coach, it helps. I'm not saying it's the end-all, be-all, but to have a coach in your background that is also able to kind of get, guys, you're doing great. Let's keep that momentum. Let's keep it steady. It rallies your head a little bit. It rallies the mental, rallies the troops, so to say, in a position where you're able to play together as a cohesive unit and go from common to maybe a little bit of an uncommon status in there, which I love every so much of it. Again, it was a beautiful grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, congrats again to, the Central Catholic High School SnakeBytes as our R20 national champions here at the Forge Scholastic Esports Championship, presented by Army National Guard. And I mean, we're at the Boeing Center at Techport, which is pretty great to see, all of the festivities in the background, people playing in different free play tournaments, and then we also see everything else as well. But yeah, that's the entire series that we have for that one. So it went the distance. We went, for the 4-1 victory from SnakeBytes, and not the 4-1, excuse me, 4-2 that we saw that as well. But they wanted it to be 4-1. They were hoping that they could have more of a statement. You saw them talking smack between each other. I mean, I love the good sportsmanship too, but it's also fun to have some competitiveness as well, as long as it's metered to a certain level.
Well, the thing is now you get to have a little bit of an ego.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be honest here. Number one, both teams deserve an ego because you made
it here. Yeah.
Over what was it? Over 20 to 30 teams.
I think it was 35 teams or something like that.
Yeah, you competed so hard against everyone in your region across a multiple season, and I don't often get to say this because I don't get given the space. Normally we're like, hey, we're good. We don't want to see these guys. We want to see the competitors. But I want to take a moment to anyone tuning in to this high school scene. These are the best of the best. In their region, in their current division, they are the best. And even if it looks a little bit lopsided, even if things go awry, these are players that have played their hearts out throughout the entirety of their season, and they deserve to be here on the grand stage. They have overcome trials and tribulations. So to those that have gained the crown, it's amazing. To those that are runner-ups, you deserve to still say, I made the stage. I made it to this grand finals. That is a very big prize as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, getting that 4-2 victory towards the end was massive here for the Catholic High School, or Central Catholic High School SnakeBytes there. But also on the other end, I mean, the Southwest Legacy Titans, they did everything that they could. As a team, as players, it's just the other team was better at the end of the day, right? And if you play this again, I mean, we could easily have seen the Titans come out on top, I think, as well, on their thing too. So I mean, we'll see what the future is for these competitors as well. For R20 and for these high schools. I mean, I'm sure they'll keep competition going for Rocket League. I feel like Rocket League is such a good entry point in terms of esports because it's like soccer, right? I
Yeah.
People know soccer, they've been watching that, or hockey a little bit there too, just because the arena doesn't have the ball going off sides, or you don't have, penalty kicks or anything like that. But you do have, the cool overtime shootouts, and the demos are a little bit different with the boost and all that. But even then, I think it's a good entry level like esport for like fans or friends and family to watch and understand in comparison to like League of Legends or even Marvel Rivals.
You don't got to dunk on my game
I'd
like
say
this,
Marvel
man.
Rivals too.
Right,
Marvel
good,
Rivals
good.
too is pretty hard to understand for those who like don't know what's going on with all the lights and colors, and it's a little overwhelming. But I mean, it's so great because it brings people together, right?
Yes.
It lets you know, like, hey, it's easy to see a car hit a ball into a goal and understand what's happening, right? I hope so, at least. So, and that's like what makes it easier for like family and friends to understand. Oh, this is like something you're really good at, and you're putting this effort into, and you're seeing results, and you're having practices and meeting with your coaches, and maybe talking to some like professional players at some point too. Like they offer some coaching services, which is pretty awesome too. So you can watch the content creators out there have their own guides as well. So there's a lot of great stuff there, but. We are going to be setting up the trophy ceremony in a little bit here as well, but we are going to be sending it to a quick break. So we'll be back after that with the trophy winner ceremony for Central Catholic High School SnakeBytes after this.
And here are your champions of the R20 Rocket. And here are your champions of the R20 Rocket League Championship. It's CCHS SnakeBytes! And to give them their trophy and to share some words is Josh Martinez, once again, the R20 commissioner.
Thank you guys, and congratulations to Central Catholic SnakeBytes on back-to-back Rocket League championships. One last time is our last event on stage. I want to shout out our sponsors that make this event possible. Port San Antonio, DoD STEM, and Boeing. Thank you for your contributions. You guys have impacted these students in more ways than you understand. And we're looking forward to doing this event for a long time. And without further ado, I'm going to hand the trophy to you guys, and let's get some pictures.
All right, give it up one more time to your SnakeBytes! Let me grab before all the photo ops keep happening. We'll get some photo ops going. I want to get a couple questions with Electric Fire. Man, you're holding that smile. Are you blinking?
Oh, no.
You're not blinking.
Are y'all good? We good or no?
You guys can keep photos after the interview. Don't worry, guys. I got to get through the emotions. Oh, don't break it, please. We're good? We're good? It'll stay. All right. Wow. What a series. I'm here with Electric Fire, by the way. You guys know him now. I mean, hat trick in game 4. Like, you guys popped off across the board. And bring me through the emotions of what is such an incredible final for you and the school.
We knew we had nerves coming in. Game 1, I think y'all could definitely see it. But we just had to keep our composure, and we went a 3-game winning streak and tried to close it out. We were confident going in, lost game 5, but we just had to finish the series. So we felt pretty confident throughout the rest of the series, but game 1, we were nervous. It's Inky's first time being on stage, and then myself in charge. We were here last year, so still the nerves, but we felt good about it.
And you guys found such a good flow. I mean, the passing game was flawless in game 4. How were you guys able to work so well together, even with someone's first time on stage?
We just had to work on our positioning. We felt very jumbled up together, and so we kind of figured it out, like trying to stay more spread out and communicating everywhere where we are, our boost, everything, and just knowing where each other are. We know what to do with the ball and where to place it. So, and being in the right positions. We just had to fix our mistakes and do our best to pull through.
And you pulled out a win at the end, and I just can't believe these guys are just in high school. How does a win like this inspire your Rocket League future? Are we seeing CRL or LCS in the future for you guys?
I'm definitely hopeful. I'm a senior right now, so it's charged, and we're both going to UTSA, so we might be able to join the Rocket League team there. And I know for the rest of my team, we've worked so much, and I know that they want to come back here and do their best. So this hopefully will inspire them to work their best in the following years and be able to come back here and win again.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And congratulations once again to CCHS SnakeBytes. You guys can go and do your photo ops now with the trophy. And that is it for Rocket League. But we still have so many more tournaments around the corner, guys. ECAC, I believe, is up next, so you won't want to miss it.